If Huo Yuhao becomes a disciple of Gu Yuena. If there were no Tang San in other timelines, but Gu Yuena came out 10,000 years earlier and accepted Huo Yuhao as a disciple, what would change Huo Yuhao's experience? Chapter 1. Stories that start early. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Dolua continent is a land with magical powers. On this continent, some people will awaken their martial souls, become soul masters, and gain more powerful power than ordinary people on this continent. There were originally two countries, the Heavenly Do Empire and the Star Luo Empire. Later, in the northeast of the Tiando Empire, a place called Tianqiong, under the leadership of Tianqiong Doluo Linxiang and the then Duke of Tianqiong Li Bing, gained independence from the Tiando Empire and established the Tianqiong Empire. And used the celestial calendar to record the year. In the year 9900 of the Gregorian calendar, it is the core area of the starry forest and the lake of life. Emperor Tian, as a beast god, stayed by the lake of life as usual, watching the unchanging water of the lake for tens of thousands of years. Suddenly, the lake boiled and began to bubble, a situation that had never been seen in tens of thousands of years. Emperor Tian, what's going on? Several soul beasts with over 200,000 years of cultivation asked him by the lake of life. This is great. Emperor Tian didn't answer the question and, after murmuring to himself, knelt down towards the direction of the lake of life, with an excited smile on his face. Seeing Emperor Tian kneeling down, the other soul beasts also understood what was going on and followed suit. After all, in the world of soul beasts, the fittest is the fittest, and strength is paramount. The only one who can make Emperor Tian kneel down is that one. After the lake churned for a while, a dazzling white light rose, accompanied by a terrifying aura that broke through the sky. Tianqiong Palace Emperor Tian Ku of the heavenly sky received a notice that there was an unusually strong fluctuation in the star forest, and even if he was far away in the heavenly sky palace, he could feel palpitations. I hope it's not a bad thing. This new regime must not cause any problems. Although the Tianqiong Empire has always used the name Tianqiong as its national name, its rulers have changed 17 surnames, and the original Li family dynasty went bankrupt after 578 years. And the Tian family only won the civil war in the year 9889 of the Gregorian calendar, becoming the new master of this country. Tian Ku was the second monarch of the Tian dynasty. At this time, the sky, which has just experienced civil war, needs time to cultivate and thrive. While Tian Ku was worried, the space in front of him suddenly cracked and he emerged alone. He is exactly Lin Xiang who lived from 10,000 years ago to the present day. Your Majesty. I have seen the crown of the sky. Lin Xiang's attitude towards the change of dynasties is: fate is unpredictable, but return to those who have virtue. Speaking of people means doing what you have the ability to do, and going down if you don't have the ability. In countless civil wars, Lin Xiang has always maintained a neutral attitude, whether it is despicable or covert attacks, whoever wins will listen to him. Of course, the so-called listening does not mean that the emperor in the sky can command him. For someone who is not a deity but is more like a deity, the emperor has no right to command him from any angle. Lin Xiang will no longer participate in the court assembly after 8 years in the Gregorian calendar, but due to his ability to see other timelines in the future, opinions will still be given. It is precisely because of his ability, although opinions, they have a significant weight. If there is a civil war in the sky, Lin Xiang will only do one thing to warn foreign forces. Lin Xiang hopes to protect the entire sky, not the interests of a single family. Therefore, during the civil war in the sky, Lin Xiang will warn that if foreign forces interfere during the war, he will immediately teleport to the opponent's capital and use the 9th soul skill on the street. Due to his promise, he instantly became honest after Tiando and Xinglua attempted to interfere with the sky and were beaten to death by hundreds of thousands of people on the street. So, in the nearly 10,000-year history of the heavenly sky, hundreds of civil wars have been literal civil wars without any external interference. Your Majesty, don't panic. I still know what happened in the starry forest. For the sky, it's not just a bad thing, but a good thing. What do you say, Senior? Because. What? This is really a good thing. Your Majesty, please do not disclose. Please rest assured, Senior. I already know how to explain. Lin Xiang then tore open the space and disappeared into place. Someone. The guard outside the door knelt down and said, Your Majesty, what orders do you have? Message. The abnormal movement of the starry forest has been personally confirmed by the crown of the heavenly sky, and it is harmless to the heavenly sky. Please rest assured, everyone in the heavenly sky. Yes. Starry forest, lake of life. The white beam of light gradually fades away. At the moment when the white beam of light disappeared, a huge silver figure appeared in the sky. Congratulations, sir. All the soul beasts that saw this figure kowtowed one after another. The silver figure landed on the ground, gradually shrinking, and finally, in front of the soul beasts, a stunning woman with purple eyes and silver hair appeared. The space above the lake of life was cut open, and Lin Xiang teleported it over. You are becoming more and more proficient in using the power of space. Compared to you, Gu Yuena, who is a true god, I am just playing tricks on my own. For 1,000 years in the Gregorian calendar, Lin Xiang has fully learned the power of space and can teleport freely. In the year 2000 of the Qianli era, Lin Xiang finally defeated Emperor Tian after becoming a 99-level title Doluo. This marked his breakthrough in strength to the pinnacle of this world, reaching the level of 100 true gods. After reaching the Jedi Heavenly Pass, all inheritances in the lower realm will be invalidated, and no one can become a god. The Protoss also completely loses the ability to make a big edge ball, so the upper limit of this plane is locked at level 100. Lin Xiang, who is said to be at level 100 but lacks any ability to challenge beyond his level, is at most as strong as the weakest group of deities in the divine realm who do not have a divine position. Even if there is a sea god, he will definitely not be able to defeat any level 3 deity. The bottom layer of the divine realm is also the vertex of the lower realm. So, although stronger than level 99, Lin Xiang, who cannot defeat any deity, does not feel qualified to be called a true god, and his own self-identity is also human. No matter how much one cultivates, the lower life cannot break the upper limit of the rules, but what if it is not a lower life itself? As the Silver Dragon King, Gu Yuena's strength is stronger than any divine king, and she has a stronger spatial power than the god of time and space. Naturally, she can partially surpass the rules of Dolua continent. The reason why it is said to be a partial rule is that she is still suppressed by the Dolua plane itself in the lower bound. Your current strength. Thanks to you cutting off 2 levels of channels 10,000 years ago, I absorbed all the remaining divine power in the lower realm, allowing me to restore all my strength as soon as I broke through the seal. Under the suppression of the Dolua plane, of course I don't have divine king level strength now, but winning any level 1 god is definitely not a problem. That's enough. In a world where no one can break through the divine level, a first-level deity has arrived, which means that no matter when, everyone except you combined will definitely not be able to defeat you. Don't think too beautifully, I can feel that in the absence of interference from the divine realm, due to the presence of someone outside of my rules on the continent, the space of the entire continent has undergone a transformation, and a large number of other small planes will be attracted to the vicinity of Dolua continent. At the same time, the space of the entire continent will become unstable, and more spatial cracks will appear. The specific manifestation is that people may fall into another world while walking, or teleportation gates may appear on the street out of thin air, entering another plane. Due to the fact that different planes may have completely different rules, one cannot take it lightly. After entering many planes, one will find that both martial souls and soul skills cannot be used. This cannot be completely considered a bad thing. Different planes and rules mean challenges and risks, but at the same time, it also means opportunities. Moreover, encountering planes that cannot use martial souls may actually lead to higher level challenges. Gu Yuena nodded and said, that person named Huo Yuhao will take another 100 years to come, right? Not bad, then wait for him for 100 years. There are some parts that I don't understand, which can be seen as the prequel to my previous work, The Wind of Doloa Continent Rises in the Sky. It consists of 61 chapters and over 100,000 words, and can be read quickly. Chapter 2. The Son of the Plain. Huo Yuhao. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 10,000 years in the Gregorian calendar, the Starry Empire. A small crack appeared in the door of the Duke of White Tiger's mansion, and a young man slipped out. His name is Huo Yuhao, 11 years old this year, and he is the son of Duke Dai Hao of the White Tiger. During these 10,000 years, the kingdom issues of Xinglua and Tiando erupted, and the ultimate result of Xinglua was that the Su family conquered other kingdoms and principalities, followed by the Dai family's voluntary abdication. The Star Luo Empire entered the Su dynasty. Due to the peaceful handover, the Dai family was conferred the title of Duke of the White Tiger, with 1 person below and 10,000 below. After the outbreak of the Tiando kingdom issue, the current emperor still had the surname Shui. It was not because the imperial family was strong, but because Tianqiong did not transfer the family and sect to Tiando, resulting in too much power in the local and central families and sects of Tiando. Due to too many other local forces, the strength of the local kingdoms was weakened, and all political regimes within Tiando had to pay huge amounts of goods to Tianqiong every year. As a result, after the outbreak of the kingdom issue, the local nobles discovered 2 awkward things. 1. The Tiando royal family is weak and unable to centralize power. However, due to the large number of local forces, as local nobles, they are also unable to centralize power, resulting in weak central and local power. 2. After paying Tianqiong, I didn't have enough money to support the years-long war. The result was that the local nobles were unable to mobilize most of the local army and did not have the money to support the war, so the war ended before it was even fought, and everyone still lived together. As the son of Duke Baihu, Huo Yuhao's experience is different from that of other aristocratic children. Firstly, his mother Huo Yuena was a maid, which led to his low status from birth, even though he was Dai Hao's son, like a servant. Secondly, in this world where strength is supreme, his innate soul power is only level 1, and his martial soul is a spiritual martial soul that is extremely difficult to obtain soul rings. The Spirit Eye. As a result, their mother and son suffered from bullying. At the age of 10, Huo Yuhao's mother fell ill from overwork and passed away suddenly. At the age of 11, Huo Yuhao finally reached level 10 and was able to obtain his first soul ring. So he packed his things and found an opportunity to leave the White Tiger Duke's mansion. Mom, don't worry, I will definitely become stronger and make all those who bully you pay the price. It is not easy to do this. It is Dai Hao's wife, the Duchess, who bullies his mother most. She is also the daughter of the current Emperor Xinglua. To seek justice for myself and my mother, I must at least become a title Doluo. But Huo Yuhao did not back down because he had no way out. His current goal is to go alone to the Star Forest and obtain the first soul ring. He traversed mountains and rivers all the way, while also integrating information about his understanding of the world. In this world, there are 4 countries, with the strongest sun, moon, and sky, followed by the star system, and the weakest celestial system. Over 4,000 years ago, a new continent called the Sun-Moon continent drifted to the west of the original continent. 3,000 years ago, the alliance of Tiando and Xinglua invaded the Sun and Moon continent, almost annihilating the Sun and Moon Empire. However, due to Tianqiong's resolute refusal to participate in the war, coupled with prolonged military aggression, there were problems with supplies in the rear, leading to domestic unrest. The coalition forces retreated helplessly, and the Sun and Moon Empire, whose lives were hanging on the line, gradually recovered. The Sun and Moon Empire, which narrowly escaped death, deeply pondered and vigorously developed soul weapons. Through 3,000 years of development, their strength surpassed that of the Star Luo Empire and even the Heavenly Do Empire. 300 years ago, they directly captured the capital of the Tiando Empire, Tiando City. Subsequently, Tianqiong suddenly sent troops, causing heavy losses to the Sun and Moon Empire and forcing them to retreat. More than 100 years ago, taking advantage of the Tianqiong Civil War, the Sun and Moon Empire launched another attack and once again occupied Tiando City. Arriving at the Star Luo Empire with cold lips and teeth, they led their troops to help, and with internal problems within the Sun and Moon Empire, they finally retreated once again. Nowadays, the Sun and Moon, which are eyeing the Heavenly Do and Star Luo, have become a major concern for both countries. The two countries have decided to put aside their disputes and unite to fight against the Sun and Moon. On the contrary, Tianqiong is repairing its relationship with the Sun and Moon, and frankly stating that as long as it does not occupy Tiando City in the eastern area, Tianqiong will not send troops. So in recent years, the goal of the Sun-Moon War has shifted from occupation to plunder, and after defeating the enemy, they do not want land, but instead demand property. As a result, Tiando, who was already the weakest, was under dual economic pressure and was completely unable to rise. The Sun and Moon Empire understands the principle of fattening pigs before killing them. Therefore, whenever Tiando is poor to a certain extent, the Sun and Moon Empire will focus on attacking Xinglua or not fighting, and when Tiando recovers, they will rise up again. And Tiando, what will he do after finally having money? Play to tradition and engage in internal competition. As for the sky, it is the most mysterious and independent country on the whole continent. In the eastern part of the continent, there is also a continent with an area of less than 70% of the Star Luo Empire. In the year 9066 of the Gregorian calendar, the heavenly sky declared its rule over the entire territory of the continent. It is said that Tianqiong spent 3,000 years developing navigation and exploration, discovered this continent around 3,200 years in the Gregorian calendar, and then spent more than 5,000 years completely transforming this continent, which had no indigenous humans, into Tianqiong's territory. The heavenly sky often presents weapons and facilities that other countries cannot even imagine, which leaves other countries puzzled and unable to understand why the heavenly sky always invents something that transcends the times. And the reason why it is the most independent is because as a human country, it clearly allied with soul beasts. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.net often kills other humans hunting soul beasts together with soul beasts. The second is the Advanced Soul Master Competition, which is regarded as a national and academic honor by the whole mainland. Tianqiong is not interested at all and participates if he wants to participate. If he doesn't want to come, he won't come. Even if he does, he often fights and gives up. Tianqiong publicly stated that the Soul Master Competition is just a platform for Soul Masters to broaden their horizons, and Tianqiong's national honor never increases or decreases due to the victory or defeat of a competition. And what scares other countries the most is the Heavenly Sky Dolua and Lin Xiang of the Heavenly Sky Empire. It is said that his strength is already above the 99-level title Dolua, but he is firmly committed to only safeguarding the interests of the Heavenly Sky, regardless of any other country. After multiple verifications, he is a human but has lived for over 10,000 years. How could a human live for 10,000 years? He's not a soul beast. When sorting out information, Huo Yuhao can't help but complain about it. Tiando is weaker than Xinglua and cannot go. The sun, moon, and sky may be a good choice. After walking and thinking all the way, Huo Yuhao arrived at the outskirts of the starry forest. Entering the forest, Huo Yuhao abandoned his distractions and began searching for the soul beast that suited him. However, due to being alone and the rarity of spiritual beasts, Huo Yuhao was exhausted for over a month but achieved nothing. Just then a voice rang out in his mind, "After so many years, I finally met a human with a spiritual attribute." After going through the same process as the original work, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm successfully became Huo Yuhao's first soul ring in the depths of the starry forest. Gu Yuena opened her eyes and said, "It seems that Lin Xiang is right. No matter which timeline you are in, you are the unique son of the plane. As soon as she finished speaking, her figure disappeared into place. Chapter 3. Apprenticeship. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. It took an unknown amount of time before Huo Yuhao woke up from his coma. He immediately released his martial soul. Lingmu. A century-old soul ring rose, and Huo Yuhao was surprised to find that his soul power had been directly increased to level 18. How about it, brother? He's amazing. The voice of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm reminded Huo Yuhao of it in his mind. Thank you, Tianmeng brother, but where are you? Hearing the sound but not seeing Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, Huo Yuhao quickly searched everywhere. Don't look around blindly, I've become your soul ring. How could I still be outside? I'm in your spiritual sea. Come on, I'll teach you the way to enter the spiritual sea. After some exploration, Huo Yuhao, with the help of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, entered the Sea of Spirit and saw a ball of light, faintly visible in the shape of the silkworm. Through communication with Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, Huo Yuhao learned what the spiritual world is and what the Sea of Spirit is. If it weren't for my longevity approaching, I wouldn't have been in a hurry to make a choice, but if I had chosen everything, I wouldn't have regretted it. By the way, brother Tianmeng, aren't you a million-year-old soul beast? Why is my first soul ring yellow, and why has my soul power increased by 8 levels after obtaining one? That's because the maximum number of soul rings that humans can withstand at level 10 is 500 years. In other words, even if it's a million-year soul beast, you still have a 500-year soul ring. The excess cultivation will gradually release a part of it as you grow, converting it into your soul power. That is to say, every time you break through, you can gain an additional part of your soul power, which will quickly improve your level in the early stage. Please be weak as soon as possible. In addition, I have improved your physique. Don't worry about your previous talent difference. With my brother, your cultivation speed is definitely first class in the whole continent. Thank you, heavenly dream brother. Huo Yuhao never expected that he would have such luck. This way, there is hope for his future. Don't rush to thank me yet, take a look at your first soul skill. Huo Yuhao quickly checked. Why are there 4 of my first soul skills? Yuhao, you forgot that if the soul ring has a lifespan of 100,000 years, you can either obtain a particularly powerful soul skill or 2 soul skills. Brother is a million-year soul beast, and of course, he can give you 4 soul skills. These 4 soul skills of Huo Yuhao are the spirit detection that can detect, the spirit sharing that can share detection, the spirit interference that can interfere with others, and the soul impact that can attack others. Also, although I couldn't give you a soul bone, I can give you an additional second martial soul with an ice attribute. The second martial soul. Huo Yuhao certainly knew how rare and powerful the soul masters of twin martial souls were. He desperately pinched his face, convinced that he was not dreaming. However, don't have too high expectations for me. Although I am a million-year-old soul beast, I have only achieved spiritual strength. In terms of combat, I am not as good as a 1,000-year-old soul beast. Although I will do my best to ensure your safety, the key is still to rely on your own strength. It's nothing, my enemy, of course I have to defeat it myself. Huo Yuhao felt high-spirited and full of motivation. Okay, that's the momentum. I like it. Next, let's find a place to cultivate to level 20. I'll take you to the far north and give you a second martial soul. Huo Yuhao nodded and was about to leave when suddenly a voice rang out, it seems like we've finished chatting. Huo Yuhao was startled in his heart. He followed the sound and saw a young girl with purple eyes and silver hair standing nearby. He had no idea when there was another person there, and what was even more terrifying was the aura she exuded. In Huo Yuhao's perception, her strength was far stronger than Dai Hao, who was a soul warrior. Not only Huo Yuhao was shocked, but also Tianmeng Ice Silkworm. Huo Yuhao's strength was weak and he didn't realize it, so why didn't he notice her? It seems like we've finished talking. Let's come with me first. Before Huo Yuhao could even speak, he felt a whirlwind around him. When he regained his senses, he had already arrived at a lake, and a strong breath of life emanated from the lake. The lake of life, how could it be? You are silver. Not Lord. Lord. I have come to my senses, you haven't been slow to be a soul beast for millions of years. Huo Yuhao had a clear perception of the state of the heavenly dream ice silkworm. When facing this girl with purple eyes and silver hair, Huo Yuhao could feel the trembling of the heavenly dream ice silkworm's soul. Don't be nervous, you're useless to me. If I wanted to kill you, you would have died a long time ago. 100 years ago, you should have felt a powerful aura coming from the center of the forest, and that's me coming out. I'm not going to kill him. Kill him, no need for me to take action. Tianmeng Bingchan, tell Huo Yuhao who I am. The heavenly dream ice silkworm, who had come to her senses, took a few breaths and said to the bewildered Huo Yuhao, she is the Silver Dragon King, and the soul beast co-masters the Silver Dragon King. That is to say, whether it is land or sea, whether strong or weak, she is the leader of all the soul beasts in this world. If we measure it by cultivation, it is a soul beast that has been around for millions of years, and unlike me, it is a soul beast that has been around for thousands of years. You may not understand this, but I am sure that all of you humans' title Dolua combined is definitely not her opponent. Millions of years of soul beasts. Silver Dragon King. Soul Beast co-owner. Huo Yuhao, who thought encountering 1,000,000 years of soul beasts was already enough to be shocked, was once again shocked. He stayed in place, speechless. After all of this had a huge impact on his 11-year-old child. Sigh, Gu Yuena sighed lightly, pulling Huo Yuhao back to reality. Even if it's a level 99 title Dolua, I disdain to see him, but I came to see you specifically. You must be curious why. Because you are the son of the plane in front of the entire Dolua continent, with no ancients or newcomers, and you are the luckiest person for tens of thousands of years. Before today, you would definitely not agree. After all, you had a relatively tragic childhood, but what about after today? Do you think that ordinary people would encounter 1,000,000-year soul beast and voluntarily sacrifice? Do ordinary people have 4 first soul skills? Will ordinary people have an extra martial soul out of thin air? This. What Gu Yuena said cannot be refuted by Huo Yuhao. I know that after you reach level 20, the heavenly dream ice silkworm will take you to the far north, making the Ice Emperor, who has been cultivating for nearly 400,000 years, your second martial soul. At that time, you will not only be a twin martial soul, but also an ultimate martial soul. Master. How do I know? The Ice Emperor is going to suffer the 4th calamity in a few hundred years. Can she withstand it? She knows in her heart that even if you don't have this kind of relationship, she will agree to your plan to create a god. Although it is illusory, it is better to turn into ashes under the calamity. So, my lord. You all know. I want to know, of course, that your cross-racial love has nothing to do with me. Yu reading www.uukangshu.net. Huo Yuhao, I brought you here hoping that you would cooperate with me to complete a plan. If you agree, I will not interfere with your growth, and even help you. If you don't agree, I promise, senior. Are you afraid of not agreeing to me and what will happen to you? I do have the ability to do so. No, since Tianmeng thinks that the senior is so powerful, he is undoubtedly giving me a shortcut. Perhaps I can walk my own path without any problem, but since there are shortcuts to take, who would be willing to take the long way? If I can cooperate with the senior's plan, I will definitely become a god. If the senior can help me become a god, I will repay this great kindness. As long as I do not violate my principles of being a person, I will agree. Interestingly, what you're saying doesn't sound like an 11-year-old human. My mother told me that there is no shortage of opportunities in the world, but there are also people who give up opportunities. I just don't want to watch my opportunities flow away in vain. Since you agreed, then I won't say anything. Let's start from the first step. Huo Yuhao, are you willing to worship me as your teacher? I am willing, Huo Yuhao said, then knelt down and kowtowed 3 times. When she looked up, Gu Yuena had an extra cup in her hand at some point. Drink it now. Huo Yuhao took the cup and drank it all in one gulp. Suddenly, he felt the majestic vitality rushing towards him. He felt his whole heart relaxed and happy, and then this vibrant breath penetrated into his spiritual sea. It's so comfortable. The heavenly dream ice silkworm, in its soul form, couldn't help but be intoxicated. When he realized it, he found that his existence had changed from a vague golden light to an ice silkworm with only golden stripes. Surprisingly, his true form had been restored. Chapter 4. Step 1 in place. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Huo Yuhao and Tianmeng Ice Silkworm shook and panicked like they were drunk, and it took over half an hour for them to return to normal. If everything is normal, let me tell you, Heavenly Dream, how did you originally plan to make Huo Yuhao become a god? You should know that 10,000 years ago, the path to becoming a god was cut off, and it was impossible to accept inheritance or create a new deity. So you're planning to deceive the Ice Emperor? Tianmeng fell into silence. The plan to create gods was his idea, but he had no idea how to implement it. Since I have proposed it, I naturally have a solution. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm's eyes lit up. Although accepting inheritance and creating one's own deity are not feasible, let him become the master of the plain of Dolua continent. Although he is only a second-level deity, as the master of the plain, if he fights against enemies within the continent, the opponent will be suppressed by the plain, but the master of the plain will not. It is not a big problem for a first-level deity. Ah, Lord, you're right. Wait. Sigh, Yuhao, you're at level 20. Huo Yuhao finally regained his senses. After drinking that cup of food, his soul power had already surpassed level 20. Teacher, that was just now. Gu Yuena pointed to the lake behind her and said, no, the refined lake water of life has some effect on the first drink. After all, the purpose of the existence of the lake of life is not the lake itself, but this excellent place for cultivation. After finishing these words, Gu Yuena explained some matters related to the integration with the Ice Emperor. I have already informed them. Teacher, are we going to the far north? Don't be so troublesome, just let you get to the point in one step. After saying that, Gu Yuena snapped her finger and a door appeared out of thin air. Huo Yuhao was sucked in before he could say anything. The Arctic region, the core area. A crack appeared in the sky, and then Huo Yuhao was thrown out. Ah! With a scream, he fell into the snow. When he got up, 2 more figures appeared beside him. All right, Yuhao, just let me come. The figure of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm emerged from beside Huo Yuhao. Long time no see, Snow Emperor, and Ice, haven't seen you for so long, have you missed me? Huo Yuhao looked at the 2 beautiful girls in front of him, and the one on the left turned his face. Who wants to see you? Then I'll go. Wait, come back, I didn't say. I don't want to see you, and since you're here, there's something important to attend to. Hurry up and take care of it. From the title, it seems that the proud and delicate girl on the left is the Ice Emperor, while the one on the right who is covering her mouth and laughing is the Snow Emperor. All right, stop making a fuss. You should have received the master's notification and wait for us here. Upon hearing this, the 2 immediately became serious and said, not bad. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm told the 2 of Gu Yuena's thoughts. Since it's the Lord's intention, I have no problem. It's just him. Can he bear my soul ring that has been around for nearly 400,000 years? I can, no matter how much pain I have to endure, I can endure it. Okay, first bone, then soul. The Ice Emperor didn't talk nonsense and released his true form, a scorpion with a green body. The shell shines brightly under the reflection of sunlight. The Ice Emperor unleashed his original power, and a green light rushed towards Huo Yuhao. This is about to start, Huo Yuhao thought to himself, and then he felt a huge pain as his spine was forcefully cut off by the Ice Emperor. Hold on. Huo Yuhao gritted his teeth, beads of sweat as big as beans oozed from his forehead. First bone, then soul, which means first fusing soul bones. In the process of fusing martial souls, not only will one experience the bones being hard cut off, the muscles of the whole body spasm and atrophy, but also the extreme cold of ice and fire. That level can torture people to death. But Huo Yuhao persevered all the way, relying on his own perseverance and obsession with his mother to endure this pain. Huo Yuhao, who had completed the fusion, fainted and murmured, "Mom, no, Mom, don't leave." In the sea of Huo Yuhao's spirit, the Ice Emperor, who had completed the fusion, was exhausted. She thought she would fall asleep, but the majestic vitality immediately relieved most of her fatigue. "Tianmeng, it seems that you have a good eye. Bing Bing, this is. The master has told me and my sister before that the standard for judging whether Huo Yuhao is the son of the plain is whether you have chosen him or not in Tianmeng. My soul power is so domineering, even if it is a title Dolua, it may not be acceptable," but he persevered with his own perseverance. "Humans are really amazing. That's right, let's not see who chose him. Brother, did you miss out on him? Bing Bing, you just completed the fusion. Let's take a break first." Speaking, the heavenly dream ice silkworm changed its form and transformed into the appearance of a handsome human young man. Get a bargain and sell well. The Ice Emperor also regained the form of a green-haired girl. Although he didn't spare anyone, his body still leaned against the heavenly dream ice silkworm, and he didn't say anything even when he hugged him. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm didn't hesitate anymore, just looked at her quietly, her eyes filled with love. After a while, the Ice Emperor spoke up. "Tianmeng, do you know what I was thinking when the Lord was born 100 years ago and told me and my sister about this plan?" Tianmeng Ice Silkworm looked at her quietly without answering. "What I'm thinking is that you, the one who ate and slept, actually lives to this day. On my deathbed, I can still see you again. Don't talk nonsense, even without me, you can still withstand the fourth calamity. Don't comfort me, if I'm really good, why should you let Yuhao choose me? 100 years ago, we came together with the Lord, and there was also a human. Humans. How could the Lord make humans follow him? It's the human who has lived for 10,000 years and can see countless futures. Lin Xiang, the Lord told us that Lin Xiang made the Lord come out more than 10,000 years earlier. Do you know what he told me? He actually told me that in all the futures he has seen, we will eventually fall in love with each other, but there may be a gap in time. In some timelines, we are following Yuhao for a few years, but in the current time, it is the earliest time he has seen, the most favorable timeline, and he is still giggling after saying it. What does it mean that we will definitely be together? Is it destined that my majestic emperor, Ice Blue Scorpion, will fall into your hands like an ice silkworm? When we first met, you were my food, but you have already fallen into my brother's hands. I don't know why I fell in love with you as your food at that time. Perhaps this is love. Humans haven't figured it out, and even our soul beasts haven't figured it out. It's because you have already fallen into your hands that I hope other worlds can have different choices. Maybe if I ate you back then, I would. I could have broken through level 40. Oh, if I could help you withstand the fourth calamity, that would be a good outcome. Humph, forget it, it's just you. I'm sure I regret not sleeping for tens of thousands of years anymore. Alright, let's not say it anymore. Anyway, we can't care about things in other worlds. Although it was mentioned by the Ice Emperor first, now she didn't allow Tianmeng to continue talking, and still twisted in Tianmeng's arms. Her adorable appearance made Tianmeng feel like he no longer existed, and he jumped up and down as he looked at the Ice Emperor. You're not serious. Who calls Bing Bing really pretty? Of course, if Bing Bing doesn't agree, I won't do anything. Also, I didn't say no. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.net. Tianmeng no longer hesitated and kissed. Two people, no, the lips of the two beasts intersect, already the souls of Huo Yuhao, but they seem to feel the warmth of each other. As the temperature gradually increased, their movements became bolder. Just as the scene was about to turn into a mosaic, a voice rang out, "Big insect and small scorpion, you two are quite interesting." Seeing someone watching, the Ice Emperor instantly blushed, pushed away Tianmeng, hid to the side, and crouched down. Tianmeng smiled and looked at the source of the sound, which was the black ball that appeared when he became Huo Yuhao's soul ring. "The Lord has told me that you are a fragment of divine consciousness from another world, and your name is Alex." "Ilex, very familiar. Although I can't remember many things clearly, I am so familiar with this name. It seems that I am called this name. Actually, you woke up after drinking the water of life in Yuhao." Not bad, but at that time, the aura of that silver-haired girl was too terrifying. Even when I was at my peak, I might not have been her opponent, let alone now I am just a wisp of soul. After Huo Yuhao arrived in this ice and snow world, I fell asleep again and only woke up when the little scorpion came in. As a result. This kid's spiritual seat is huge, this side belongs to me, that side belongs to you, as long as you don't come, old I will never be in a difficult situation. As for this kid, meeting him is fate. If it weren't for him, my residual soul would have dissipated long ago. I remember that I am not someone who repays kindness with resentment. I will do my best to protect his safety. Upon hearing these words, Tianmeng and Ice Emperor both breathed a sigh of relief. Well, Yuhao is awake. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, who noticed Huo Yuhao's physical condition, exclaimed happily. Chapter 5, Level 26, 9 Soul Skills. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the core area of the Arctic region, a rare snowstorm came to a halt, and sunlight fell on Huo Yuhao, who had just woken up. Huo Yuhao felt like his whole body was completely transformed, full of strength. By the way, thank you to the Ice Emperor, Huo Yuhao thought as he entered the Sea of Spirit. Yuhao, you're awake. How do you feel? Listening to Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, whose tone was much more serious than usual, Huo Yuhao felt a bit uncomfortable for a moment. Tianmeng, I'm fine, and thank you, Ice Emperor. I am just like Tianmeng, but as my lifespan approaches, I have to do it without any need to thank me. No, Ice Emperor, your longevity is almost the same thing, but choosing me is another thing. The teacher said that I am the son of a plane full of atmospheric luck, and I do not fully agree. In my opinion, it is not because of what plane I am that you choose me, but because you choose me that I have the possibility of becoming the son of a plane. When I met Tianmeng, we were just ordinary soul masters from humble backgrounds with only level 1 innate soul power. It was you who gave me infinite possibilities. So, thank you, Ice Emperor. Don't worry, I will prove with facts that your choice with Tianmeng is not wrong. After speaking, he said. Bowed heavily to both of them. After Huo Yuhao stood up, the human form of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm walked up to Huo Yuhao and also bowed to him. Heavenly Dream Brother, what are you doing? Huo Yuhao was startled and quickly stepped forward, wanting to help Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm up. But Tianmeng Ice Silkworm stopped him and said, Yuhao, I am not because of myself, but because of myself and the Ice Emperor. The Ice Emperor is my lover, and you have endured such great pain. What you have endured is not only the improvement of your own strength, but also the hope of keeping the Ice Emperor alive. Not only has it given her hope to live, but it has also allowed me to be with her. Even if you ultimately fail, our last journey can be passed together. So, thank you, Huo Yuhao. You guy, why are you suddenly so serious? Look at how scared Yuhao is. Seeing Huo Yuhao standing still, the Ice Emperor came out to break free and said, Yuhao, I have given you the second martial soul Emperor Ice Blue Scorpion, which is the ultimate ice attribute. The so called ultimate ice is the strongest ice. Unless the opponent is also an ultimate attribute, the ultimate ice suppresses all fire, water, and ice martial souls, immune to any ice-type toxins and negative states of all ice and fire attributes. At the same time, it has a certain oppressive effect on any other non-ultimate martial soul. Don't be fooled by the fact that your second martial soul now only has one soul ring. As I am a 100,000-year-old soul beast, you have 2 soul skills. Also, because I gave you a body bone, the 100,000-year-old soul beast's body bone, you have 2 soul skills. The soul skills of the Ice Blue Scorpion clan are powerful and have very powerful effects. You need to practice more to proficiently use them. Thank you, Ice Emperor. I will work hard, Heavenly Dream Brother. Do you have anything else to say? Tianmeng Ice Silkworm pointed towards the distance and said, that black ball named Ilix has something to tell you. Don't look at him as a black ball. According to the Master's judgment, he is a fragment of divine consciousness split from a deity on another plane when he died. There is nothing we can do about him. Rain Hao, it seems that you can't even enter the spiritual sea without 2 brushes. Huo Yuhao smiled, looking towards that black ball. Big Bug, Little Scorpion, are you finished talking? So it's my turn, Yuhao. Just now, while experiencing this fusion of martial souls, you burst out with powerful hatred. I hope you don't be blinded by hatred. Do you want me not to seek revenge? I have never said that before. Those who have put you, your loved ones, and loved ones in a desperate situation, put them to death, and humiliated them in every way, deserve more than they deserve. But do you want to kill all the people in a village because there is a villager who has a grudge against you? I understand what you mean now. It's good to understand. I feel that I once had a great hatred during my lifetime, but before I die, I feel relieved. I don't want you to become a killer because of revenge. There are many things that I haven't remembered yet, and no gods can teach you. However, your powerful old teacher should be able to give you a lot of things. The current situation of the Ice Emperor is better than imagined. Yuhao, you go out. Huo Yuhao nodded and woke up from the real world. It seems everything is going smoothly. A gentle voice came in my ear, which was the Snow Emperor who had been guarding Huo Yuhao all along. Snow Emperor, Ice Emperor, everything is fine with her. Thank you. What do you want me to do? It's not that I've become your second martial soul. I'm just worried about Binger's safety. Now that I know she's doing well and can live happily with Tianmeng, I feel at ease. By the way, Yuhao, it seems that your luck is very good. So soon, the second soul ring of your spiritual eye will be settled. After speaking, the Snow Emperor flew several hundred meters into the distance and then pressed down on the snow. Immediately, a huge hole appeared on the ground. Use the skills Bing Air gave you to dig down. That's right, Yuhao. The Snow Emperor said it well, and I also felt it. There are soul beasts suitable for you below. Upon hearing the words of the heavenly dream ice silkworm, Huo Yuhao no longer hesitated. His martial soul possessed him, and an ice blue scorpion appeared next to him. A yellow soul ring appeared. Rain Hao, unlike the first martial soul, the second martial soul has fewer restrictions. When you break through level 90, your soul ring will turn into a red 100,000-year soul ring. Come on Rain Hao, try the first soul skill that Ice gave you. Huo Yuhao's first soul skill of the Ice Blue Scorpion is the Ice Emperor's pincer for attack and the Ice Emperor's protective body for defense. The 2 soul skills of the body bone of the Ice Blue Scorpion, they are the domain of Eternal Frozen and the powerful offensive soul skill Ice Emperor's Wrath. Huo Yuhao jumped into the ice cave, possessing the ultimate ice martial soul. The cold of the far north could no longer cause him any harm. He activated the Ice Emperor's pincer, and his hands instantly became as hard as the big pliers of the Ice Blue Scorpion. He followed the guidance of the heavenly dream ice silkworm and dug downwards. 10 minutes later, a unconscious ice silkworm appeared. Because he was of the same race as the heavenly dream ice silkworm, he actually discovered the scent of this ice silkworm earlier than the Snow Emperor. This ice silkworm was originally resting in a hole several hundred meters below, but after the arrival of the Ice Emperor and the Snow Emperor, the aura emanating from them directly scared the ice silkworm unconscious. It's him, the 900-year-old ice silkworm, just right for you, Rain Hao, take action. Huo Yuhao quickly stepped forward and ended the life on the opposite side. I knew that Rain Hao would receive a simulation. Although he doesn't have direct attack and defense power, he can change his own form. He can transform himself into anyone, anything, and even change the number and color of soul rings to change his identity and disguise himself. Huo Yuhao deeply believed that, having been bullied since childhood, he naturally understood the dangers of the Soul Master realm. With this skill, he would naturally be much safer. Unfortunately, you can only disguise yourself now. In the future, when you become stronger, you should be able to disguise others. Now, Huo Yuhao is very satisfied. At this moment, the Snow Emperor came down and pulled Huo Yuhao out of the hole. Huo Yuhao checked his soul power, and due to the influence of a million-year soul ring, he has reached level 26. At this moment, he suddenly realized that at level 26, he already had 9 soul skills, and some titled Dolua only had 9 soul skills. Chapter 6. Major Forces. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Huo Yuhao finished his affairs in the far north, Gu Yuena directly teleported him back to the Lake of Life. Teacher. Huo Yuhao bowed forward and found another person next to Gu Yuena. Although she was not handsome and graceful, she was not considered unattractive. Although she restrained her breath, there was still an infinite and majestic aura emanating. Hello Huo Yuhao, my name is Lin Xiang. You are the legendary one who lived for over 10,000 years. Be confident and discard the legend. It is now 10,000 years in the Gregorian calendar, and I should be 10,078 years old this year. This is not because of how strong I am, but because of my talent. Your ultimate ice is born to restrain other ice-type martial souls, and immortality is my talent. Teacher, why? Huo Yuhao was puzzled as to why a human appeared in the core area of the soul beast, completely forgetting that he was also a human. I asked him to come. You are also a human and will definitely enter human society. Of course, humans know better about the situation in human society. Lin Xiang said after seeing Gu Yuena finish speaking, Huo Yuhao, now your cultivation path has officially begun. You have 9 soul skills at level 26, and even if you don't take action, no opponent below level 50 has the ability to kill you. You can definitely defeat opponents below level 40, but what if you are at level 70? So, senior, what you mean is make you stronger before going out, but unlike me, your luck is far higher than mine. Even if you encounter danger, you can definitely turn it around. In human society, you will encounter enemies and strong companions. In short, staying here is not suitable for you, but it's not for you to go out now. How long will it take? It's August now. If everything goes smoothly, your soul power level will double to level 52 in a year, so you won't be so dangerous when you go out. A year. 26 levels. That's right, this is a speed that you cannot have in any human power. However, after level 50, your cultivation speed will slow down. Don't worry, don't rush to break through level 70 within 5 years. Huo Yuhao nodded. It's still too late to reach level 70, so let's move forward step by step first. So what does Senior Lin want to teach the younger generation? I can't teach anything, I'm just telling you the information I've received, see what you want to know. What are the most powerful forces on the mainland now? I knew you would ask this. There are currently 5 of the most powerful forces in the entire continent, namely the Sunrise Mansion, the Ontology Sect, the Mingda Hall, the Shrek Academy, and the Holy Spirit Sect. The Shiri Mansion is the weakest of the 5 forces, with only one title Doluo. Its headquarters are located in the Tianqiong continent. The reason why it is included is because there are many bizarre studies there, but it serves the Tianqiong. This place is not suitable for you. Aren't you from Tianqiong, senior? I thought I would definitely go to Tianqiong. Your future is promising, and the heavenly sky will provide you with assistance when necessary. Just consider it as an investment. You are not me, and there is no need to serve the heavenly sky. The heavenly sky has me, and there is no need for any proud sons of heaven to serve it. The country can still be strong. As long as you do not oppose the heavenly sky. The two requirements of being effective and not being enemies are vastly different. Strong but not difficult, Huo Yuhao's liking for Lin Xiang suddenly rose. Whether it's Mingda Hall, Ontology School, or Shrek Academy, they are all good choices for you. Mingda Hall is located in the Sun and Moon Empire, with the aim of serving the Empire. The Empire has the strongest ability to research soul weapons, and there are several level 9 soul mentors in Mingda Hall. Your spiritual martial soul undoubtedly has great talent in learning soul weapons. Both the Ontological Sect and Shrek Academy are in the Heavenly Do, and your first martial soul is the Ontological Martial Soul, which meets the recruitment standards of the Ontological Sect. In the Ontological Sect, your first martial soul can undoubtedly be well cultivated, but the Ontological Sect has always looked down on soul guides. As for Shrek College, it is more like a country than a college. Although its headquarters are within the territory of the Heavenly Do Empire, the Heavenly Do royal family not only cannot manage the president of Shrek College, but also has to bow to him. The teaching philosophy of Shrek College is to let students protect Shrek's honor rather than national honor. In their eyes, the honor of the college during their school years is above national honor. Of course, as it appears to be a school, it is not mandatory for students to serve Shrek after graduation, especially those with families who cannot be retained. However, Shrek often takes in declining nobles, suffers great difficulties, and among those without backgrounds, those with higher talents are trained and bound with emotions. Although they will not be forced to stay in Shrek, they will be morally kidnapped. They will try their best to make you think. If I am not Shrek, I will have a guilty idea in my heart, in order to retain people. This way, when it spreads, it also appears that Shrek is free and democratic. Huo Yuhao frowned, and as someone who valued emotions, he clearly did not like places where emotions were used for kidnapping. Of course, just from the perspective of the academy, Shrek Academy has the best faculty and is indeed the strongest in teaching martial souls. After all, there are more than a dozen titled Dolua sitting here, and they are also famous for their protective role. There, your strength can be effectively improved, and you can also make many friends. Compared to Mingda Hall and Ontology Sect, this place is more suitable for you. But senior, didn't you say? False emotions will not become a weakness, it is precisely because at Shrek College one can gain true friendship and even love that they are bound by them. Love. Well, in the field of dating, Shrek College is more open than any other force, and its level of expertise as a matchmaking agency is also top-notch in the mainland. Isn't Tianqiong having a bad relationship with Shrek College? Because Shrek Academy has the qualification to become an opponent of the heavenly sky, we cannot go black for the sake of darkness. Only by valuing the strengths of our enemies can we defeat them. Shrek Academy's obsession with the mystery of the competition is something that neither I nor the heavenly sky can understand. In every Soul Master competition, Shrek Academy is accustomed to sacrificing their lives, killing people, seriously injuring or killing other team members. I don't understand why they see the outcome of a mere game as a way to realize their life value. Winning means returning home in glory, losing means mourning. It's just a game, winning means winning, losing means losing. Anyway, students graduating from Shrek College don't have to worry about not finding jobs. Senior, I'm curious why a college can have such powerful power. Do you still remember 3,000 years ago, when the coalition forces of Dolua almost annihilated the country with the sun and moon? Why could the armies of the two countries cooperate with each other? Why did the Tiando army, which had always been adept at civil war and had an unexpected strength, erupt? It should be because they were commanded by Shrek Academy, and it was precisely after that battle 3,000 years ago that Shrek specifically established Shrek City within the territory of Tiando, becoming an independent force. Therefore, the relationship between Mingda Hall, Shrek, and the ontology school is very poor. Of course, the relationship between the ontology school and Shrek Academy is also very poor. After all, Shrek is the most powerful local snake, and the ontology school has been cooperating with the Heavenly Do royal family. Therefore, once you join one of them, you will become an enemy of the other two forces, who is the strongest among these three forces. So how do you define it as the strongest? First of all, the overall ability of the ontology sect is definitely the weakest. Shrek Academy and Mingda Hall, or the Sun and Moon Empire, each have their own advantages and disadvantages. Shrek Academy has dozens of title Dolua, of which there are currently 7 at level 95 and above, but soul weapons are in a mess. Of course, this is still stronger than the ontology sect compared to the Sun and Moon Empire. Shrek Academy has 2 departments. Martial Soul and Soul Guidance, but the entire Shrek Academy only has 3 8-level soul mentors, one of which has water. In the Tian-Do and Star Luo territories, there is a clear strength on the surface. There are no level 9 soul mentors in the Sun and Moon Empire. There are more than 10 level 9 soul mentors and 100 level 8 soul mentors, but there is only one title Dolua in the country that exceeds level 95. If the martial soul level is improved and there is a 7.7 competition, Shrek Academy will definitely be strong, but if the soul mentor level is improved and there is a battle with the Legion, Mingda Hall will definitely be stronger. The senior has said so much. What about the Holy Spirit Church? The Holy Spirit Church is a sect composed of evil soul masters, and normal people would not join those who have courage. Perhaps they would cooperate with them. Evil soul master. Regarding this point, the definition of an evil soul master in the heavenly sky is different from that in other regions. The definition in other regions is a soul master who possesses evil martial souls. The heavenly sky definition is a soul master who frequently does evil things and endangers normal order. However, regardless of which type, the Holy Spirit cult meets the criteria. The strength of the Holy Spirit cult lies in its secret technique that can make any soul master's strength soar. For example, it can make the Soul King reach the title of Dolua within 10 years, but the cost is that those who use the secret technique will either be mentally confused, become high-level puppets, or become psychologically abnormal murderers. The secret technique of the Holy Spirit cult itself requires constant killing to achieve, so the entire sect is composed of terrorists from top to bottom. Terrorists do not mean they are not weak. There are also more than a dozen title Dolua within the Holy Spirit cult, including at least 4 super Dolua and 1 extreme Dolua. This is the public enemy of the entire continent. Who said it's not true? So they are active underground and their headquarters are unknown. Even the establishment of the Holy Spirit cult by evil soul masters is known only to the Sun and Moon in the heavenly sky, and even Shrek Academy is unaware that evil soul masters have established an organization. What do you feel after listening to me say so much? Huo Yuhao thought for a moment and said, Sun, Moon, and Heavenly Sky value soul guides, while Heavenly Do values martial souls. However, from the results, the strength of Heavenly Sky and Sun, Moon, and Heavenly Sky is far greater than that of Heavenly Do. And what about Xingluo? Lin Xiang smiled and said, indeed, among the top powers in the mainland, there is none within the Star Luo region because of its awkward position. The Heavenly Sky and Sun Moon are strong enough, while the Heavenly Do is weak enough. Star Luo is stuck in the middle, and it does not have the ability to cultivate strong forces, nor will it allow strong forces to threaten the central government in local areas. After thinking for a while, Huo Yuhao said, after listening to my senior and considering my own situation, I feel that both martial souls and soul guides are important, but reality seems to only allow me to choose one. He looked at Gu Yuena and said, Teacher, what do you think? Chapter 7. God Gives Soul Rings. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Upon hearing Huo Yuhao's question, Gu Yuena smiled and said, With me, you can learn knowledge that no other human can learn, but after all, you are a human and must live in human society. Don't think so much for now. After receiving so much information, you are also tired. Take a night off. Tomorrow, I have something more important to tell you. Huo Yuhao nodded. Meditation began beside the lake of life. The next day, Huo Yuhao opened his eyes and found that Lin Xiang had already left. Teacher, what is important for you to tell me? What Lin Xiang told you yesterday is about the internal situation of human society, but if you want to become stronger, you need to become a soul master who hunts and kills soul beasts and obtains soul rings. What do you think about people and soul beasts? From birth to now, humans have been constantly bullying me, but from Heavenly Dream Brother to Ice Emperor, and then to Teacher You, the soul beasts are constantly saving me. But if I want to become stronger, I want to hunt the soul beasts. Don't worry, as your teacher, I won't make it difficult for you. I have a way for you to obtain soul rings without killing soul beasts. What? Has it completely overturned your basic understanding? I won't talk anymore, let's see for ourselves. As soon as the words fell, Huo Yuhao gained an additional memory. 10,000 years ago, God bestowed a soul ring. In the absence of a god, as the only god-level powerhouse, I simulated the process of the sea god giving soul rings back then. When it came time to obtain the soul rings, I simply entered the special plane I created. However, I only imitated half of it, only the method of the god giving soul rings, without any way to enhance soul power. Your first step now is to level 30. This is even for your own soul beasts, and obtaining an additional god-given soul ring means losing one rare soul beast. In the following days, Huo Yuhao will practice beside the lake of life. Gu Yuena's way of imparting knowledge is simple and crude, directly injecting information into Huo Yuhao's mind. However, it must be said that this teaching method is very effective, and Huo Yuhao learned a lot of knowledge in a short time. In November of the 10,000-year lunar calendar, after nearly 3 months of cultivation, Huo Yuhao broke through to level 30. Gu Yuena, who noticed his change, waved her hand and a portal appeared out of nowhere. By passing the test, you can obtain a soul ring. If you fail, you have nothing. Huo Yuhao walked in with firm steps. Behind the gate is a wonderful space, filled with colorful rivers flowing like rainbows. Only the platform behind the gate has a staircase extending into the distance. The stairs are silver white and seem to shatter as soon as you step on them, with no railings on either side and the possibility of falling at any time. A prompt came from the brain. Climb up the 8th step. Huo Yuhao couldn't wait to walk up, but as soon as he stepped onto the first step, he realized that the scene had changed. He arrived in the middle of a valley, where a strong wind blew towards him, and behind him was a vast abyss. Don't be afraid, you can't back down from the beginning. Through constant self-comfort and encouragement, Huo Yuhao overcame his fear and took a step forward. Huo Yuhao, who realized that the wind was not as strong as he had imagined, strengthened his confidence and continued forward. He quickly walked to the other end. Huo Yuhao, who had reached the other end, was immediately teleported up the stairs and found himself standing on the 4th level. Great, it's already half done. Huo Yuhao happily stepped onto the 5th step, and the scene changed again. He came to the edge of the abyss. Is this a stronger wind? Huo Yuhao walked forward quickly, bent down, ready to catch the strong wind. However, this time there was no strong wind blowing in the valley, but a flash flood broke out. What? Surprised, Huo Yuhao suddenly lost his composure and didn't know what to do. The flood turned smooth and rushed Huo Yuhao down a vast abyss. Ah! Huo Yuhao opened his eyes again and found himself back by the lake of life. Yuhao, are you okay? The voice of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm's concern came from the Sea of Spirit. Tianmeng, I'm fine, this is. The master said, this is the mechanism of the plane. If you are teleported back here, it means the challenge has failed and you need to start from scratch. Additionally, once you enter the plane, we will lose contact with you and it's up to you. Huo Yuhao told them about his experiences within the plane. Yuhao, it's not that I'm talking about you. Why didn't you stay still when the water came? Activate your martial soul defense. Huo Yuhao patted his forehead and said, yes, this is the test for me to obtain a martial soul. Why didn't I think of opening a martial soul? I can only say that you are only an 11-year-old child after all, Yuhao. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm can't help roast. Is there a time limit for this trial? No, you can enter any time you want. Huo Yuhao couldn't wait to walk in again. Having gained experience in the first 4 levels, Huo Yuhao passed at a faster speed. After stepping onto the 5th level, the scene changed and Huo Yuhao once again came to the front of the abyss. At the moment when the flash flood was about to erupt, Huo Yuhao thought of a strategy to deal with it, and his martial soul possessed him, and the ice-blue scorpion appeared. The flood rushed in, and Huo Yuhao leaped upwards while creating an icicle growing from the shore. When jumping down, accurately land your feet on the icicle. Looking at the continuous flood, Huo Yuhao decided to follow suit and create a road made of ice pillars above the flood, walking all the way. However, this road is not straight. When there was still some distance from the finish line, a 60-degree slope appeared, and the water flow here was even more turbulent than below. However, Huo Yuhao used the same soul power as before to create icicles. As a result, as soon as Huo Yuhao stepped on the icicle, the water above him instantly washed him down, and then his second challenge failed again. I looked too far ahead and forgot that there would also be water flowing down the slope above, and it was even more intense. After analyzing the reasons for the failure, Huo Yuhao challenged again. Arriving at the slope again, Huo Yuhao changed his strategy, using more soul power and creating 2 ice pillars. After stepping on the first icicle with both feet, he immediately grabbed the second icicle ahead with both hands. The flood hit, but it didn't wash him away. Huo Yuhao found the method useful and climbed up all the way. After climbing up the mountain, Huo Yuhao felt exhausted, but at this moment, he found himself standing on the 8th step. The text appeared in his mind. The first stage of trial is completed. Subsequently, Huo Yuhao was transmitted back to the Lake of Life. When he woke up again, he noticed a change in himself. His soul power had reached level 34. Open the spirit eyes and martial souls. Zhaoshuyuan.com Yellow, yellow, purple. The appearance of the 3rd purple soul ring excited Huo Yuhao. Great Yuhao, you succeeded. Tianmeng Bingchan was also very excited. What is your 3rd soul skill? A weak group can reduce the various abilities of everyone in the region for a period of time. At this moment, Huo Yuhao turned around and found that the door had disappeared. After the trial is over, it will disappear. Come back when you reach level 40. Ah, teacher. Upon hearing Gu Yuena's voice, Huo Yuhao quickly bowed. Are you still used to it? It's a very novel feeling, different from hunting soul beasts. At least there's no life-threatening danger. This is what I want to remind you. When and how much force you should exert in human society, you need to have a clear understanding. After all, it is not a trial, and there may not be someone who will take your life. You should be aware of this. Huo Yuhao nodded solemnly, understanding that Gu Yuena did not want to have a lucky heart just because there was no danger to her life during the trial. Didn't you say not to come in? Gu Yuena looked into the distance. Gu Yuena explicitly ordered that during the trial period of Huo Yuhao, no soul beasts were allowed to approach here. After a while, a soul beast over 5 meters long, resembling a lion but with 3 heads, appeared. Huo Yuhao knew that he was the Red King with a cultivation of up to 370,000 years, second only to the Ice Emperor among soul beasts. He knelt down with 4 legs forward, all 3 heads lying on the ground, and the head in the middle spoke, "Master, calm down." The auspicious beast said she must come, and she felt a strong force of fate here, coming from a human. After speaking, the remaining light of the Red King turned to Huo Yuhao. Chapter 8. Interweaving Fate. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. I was hit by Lin Xiangyan again. Emperor Tian. A man appeared out of thin air and immediately knelt down, saying, "What orders does the Lord have?" "Let Lin Xiang come over, he's in his old place." "Yes." "Red King, let the auspicious beast come in." "Yes." A few minutes later, a golden soul beast with 3 eyes walked into Huo Yuhao's field of vision. Of course, Huo Yuhao knew that the auspicious beast, whose race name was the 3-eyed lion dragon, had at least doubled the chance of the soul beast receiving the heavenly calamity due to its existence. In the entire star forest, except for Emperor Tian and Gu Yuena, no one dared to touch her. Rui Beast looked at Huo Yuhao, and a strange feeling filled her heart. A few seconds later, when she saw the kneeling Red King, she realized that Gu Yuena was also here. See above. Huo Yuhao was surprised. This soul beast looked very fierce no matter how it looked, and the sound it made in its mouth was like a sweet and clear human girl. Gu Yuena let her kneel there and didn't pay attention to her. A few seconds later, Lin Xiang appeared. He glanced at Huo Yuhao and then at Rui Beast, and instantly understood what was going on. What did I say? How could the luckiest human not attract the soul beasts who control fate? Otherwise, how could Tang San act as a demon and use his hand to seize the energy of the soul beasts? Gu Yuena shook her head and said, "Alas, Red King, let's go, lucky beast, come and lead fate." The Red King was ordered to leave. The auspicious beast quickly walked up to Huo Yuhao. "Yuhao, drop her forehead onto the 3rd eye of her forehead." Although he didn't understand what had happened, Huo Yuhao still followed suit. In the moment when his forehead was pressed against each other, the two of them knew everything about each other. Just as everyone thought the ceremony was over, a sudden change occurred and a dazzling white light enveloped them. What's going on? Fate won't lead to this phenomenon, Lin Xiang said. "First, you asked me, I wanted to ask you." Gu Yuena didn't expect something that she didn't even know to happen, but feeling that the two in the light were not in any life-threatening situation, Gu Yuena didn't act rashly. At this moment, countless fragments flashed through their minds. This is a grand auditorium, and it is not an exaggeration to describe it as magnificent. In such a luxurious auditorium, celebrities from all over the world gather here, and for a moment, the stands are crowded with people. The groom and bride enter. As the host's doctor shouted, a young man in fancy clothes appeared. "Look, it's under the Ling Ice crown." "Ah, under the Lingbing crown, it's really handsome and powerful." On the other side, a girl dressed in a high-end wedding dress slowly walked in, and with the help of her bridesmaid, she managed to stabilize her figure and not let herself fall. "Sure, you've worked hard. It's okay, Yuhao. I've been waiting for a long time this day." The boy took off her veil, her pink-blue hair paired with her stunning appearance, making the whole room boil again. What a beautiful girl, worthy of being the wife under the Lingbing crown. Although other people's names do not include their own names, the girl is actually very happy and looks at each other gently. Seeing the girl's gaze, the boy couldn't resist and kissed her directly. "Oh ho!" Cheers erupted from the audience. "I haven't said it yet," the host muttered. Cough, cough. "I announce that Sina Huo Yuhao and bride Wang Qiu'er are honored, wishing them a long and happy life." This is a towering mountain peak, with a man and a woman standing at the top, their fingers clasped together. "Yuhao, won't we notify everyone else? Since Qiu'er doesn't like the hustle and bustle, let's stay here forever. Now, this is the home for both of us." "Fool, being with you is home everywhere." "But I have said, I am your fool. If you don't want this fool of yours, then this fool will be sad. Yes. Before he could finish speaking, the boy's mouth was blocked by the girl's mouth. For a long time, lips parted. The girl spoke first and said, "When I become your wife, you are the fool who belongs only to me." The young man chuckled and said, "By the way, Chior, are you hungry? What do you want to eat? Roast fish. Okay, I'll go catch it now. You wait, I'll be back soon." Looking at the young man's departing figure, the girl with pink and blue hair gave a faint smile, which could make anyone infatuated and captivate. This is an endless plain, and in the distance, there is a bloody sunset. A young man fell into the arms of a girl with pink and blue hair. Autumn. Yuhao, it's all over. Everything is over. Did we win? Winning, all the enemies are dead. Others also. The girl covered the boy's mouth with her hand. Originally, this was a battlefield, on the open plain, next to countless incomplete corpses, only the breath emanating from the bodies of the two young girls was that of living beings. Yuhao, when you recover, we'll leave here. As long as I still have you, it's okay, the girl said, tears welling up in her eyes. Seeing the young girl about to cry, the boy raised his hand and touched her face. Chior, you're right. As long as we're still together, we can go anywhere. Come, Yuhao, I'll carry you on my back, let's go. In this way, the girl left the battlefield with the boy on her back. In the distance, on the vast land, the bloody sunset slowly darkened, blending with the bright red blood on the ground. This is a forest. In this forest, it rained rainstorm for 3 days and 3 nights. The young man knelt under a tree and let the rainstorm wet him. He bowed his head and looked at his soul. The last soul ring is dazzling rose gold. Chior, don't leave me. Don't. That day, nightmarish scenes played out countless times in the young man's mind. If I were stronger, so strong that I could defeat everyone, Chior would not sacrifice. Countless chaotic thoughts flooded into the young man's mind, and he could no longer hold on and fell to the ground. For a long time, he opened his eyes again, as if the figure of a girl with pink and blue hair appeared in front of him. Her every frown and smile were so touching, but he himself, Yuhao, are you still sad for me? Seeing the blurry figure in front of him, the young man spoke up. He thought to himself, I must have dreamed, or maybe I could see her in my dream. As if seeing through the young man's thoughts, the figure continued to speak, Yuhao, this is not a dream. You have forgotten everything you have learned. After the soul beast sacrifices, there will be a trace of residual soul left behind. The young man woke up with excitement, rubbed his eyes, and the blurry figure was still there. Chior, I'm not dead. The girl's figure spat out her tongue at him. Yuhao, it's my fault. I just wanted to keep you alive, but I didn't consider your feelings and added more responsibility to you. I know what you're trying to say, don't need it. Every month. Maybe. I can just chat with you like this and find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. 15 minutes, after all, it takes time for my soul's power to recover. Really, what are you lying to? Don't you believe me? Of course I believe you. Look at you now. Where has the once dominant Lingbing Doluo gone? Those who don't know think he's a drunken ghost from someone else's family. Alright, don't tell me I'm sorry. If you want to, I'll tell you. After all, I'm the one who broke the agreement. Actually, you don't have to be sad at all. Now that we're like this, doesn't it mean we'll always be together, never be apart from each other? With my soul skills and bones, I'll use them well. Do you hear me? I know how strong my soul skills are. In the impression of a teenager, it seems like the girl is talking so much for the first time. Before, it was always herself who talked so much. The rain stopped, and the sunlight poured down from the forest, appearing particularly dazzling under the reflection of water droplets. It's just a bit regrettable that I can't eat your grilled fish. It seems like time is almost over, Rain Hao. Don't feel pressured, take care of yourself. Remember, we'll always be together. The girl's already blurred figure became even more blurred, and the boy reached out to grab it, only to receive the scattered starlight left by the girl's figure after it dissipated. Sure, you're right. What I'm doing is just ruining myself. You won't like me like this way. Don't worry, you're a lucky beast. Since you've obtained your soul ring and soul bone, it's natural for me to take responsibility for the lucky beast. I absolutely won't let the probability of the soul beast breaking through decrease due to your departure. The young man's eyes were still filled with sadness, but deep in the sadness, a glimmer of light was slowly emanating, believing that it would soon dispel all the sadness. Chapter 9. The appearance you like. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The white light dissipated, and Huo Yuhao and Rui Beast fell to the ground at the same time, unconscious. Then, Rui Beast's body gradually changed. A few minutes later, she transformed from a three-eyed lion to a little girl with pink and blue hair. Seeing this scene, Gu Yuena didn't calm down anymore. Lin Xiang, isn't there Tang Wudong in this timeline? How did the lucky beast become like this again? I know you're in a hurry, but don't worry for now, see what they see. Gu Yuena took a long breath and her mental energy swept up. With her ability, it was too easy to read the memories of the two of them. What kind of memory is this? Connect with me mentally, I'll take a look. Gu Yuena connected her spiritual power to Lin Xiang, and a few minutes later, Lin Xiang's expression became strange. What are those memories? It's strange, how did fate lead them to see their memories on other timelines? What? Those chaotic memories are what happened to them on other timelines. That's right, although I don't know why it's like this, maybe it's related to the two of us who shouldn't have appeared here at this time, but I already have the answer to the previous question. Speak up. Rui Beast, or rather Wang Qiu'er, will become like this, having nothing to do with Tang Wudong. Tang San, this bastard, is still deceiving Huo Yuhao and shirking responsibility in the end. Tell me more specifically. Wang Qiu'er looks similar to Tang Wudong, and it has nothing to do with Wang Qiu'er's trace of Tang Wudong's divine consciousness. What's going on? I ask you, why did Huo Yuhao fall in love with Tang Wudong? Apart from Tang San's small moves and their long-term experience, what else? Tang Wudong looks pretty, after all, she was born with the martial soul of the goddess of light butterfly. Isn't that a conclusion? Huo Yuhao will fall in love with Tang Wudong. Setting aside other reasons, is it because Tang Wudong grew up on his XP? Yes. Oh, I understand now. Tang Wutongshan grew on Huo Yuhao's XP, and the form chosen by the auspicious beast when it turned into a human was based on the appearance of Huo Yuhao's most beautiful girl in his heart. One was born on his XP, the other was adapted to his XP, and Huo Yuhao's XP was very singular, so they looked similar. That's my conclusion. They woke up. As soon as Huo Yuhao woke up, he saw a girl with pink and blue hair just like that in his dream. Is this appearance always your favorite and most attractive appearance in your heart, no matter when? Really, you are really beautiful. Huo Yuhao admitted that the girl in front of him was exactly the same as the most beautiful girl in his ideal. Just look like you like. Sure, That's an experience that could happen between us at other times, except for one time when a girl who looks the same as me appeared. You were destined to be my man. Alas, Yuhao, your goddess in your heart is actively chasing you. Why are you still standing still instead? Tianmeng Bingchan saw Huo Yuhao standing still, and he felt anxious for him. Sorry Qiu'er, it was too sudden. Human beings are troublesome, they are hesitant at critical moments. Huo Yuhao, like you. Please date me. Huo Yuhao's face flushed like a ripe apple at this moment. See, It's better to say it out loud, I agree. After speaking, Wang Qiu'er handed it over directly. Huo Yuhao, who felt his heart about to jump out, grabbed her hand and pinched it, but didn't dare to move. Alright, don't make things difficult for him. Although he has received so many memories, he doesn't have the power of fate like you do. No matter what you have experienced on other timelines, he is now a pure-hearted little boy who hasn't been in love yet. Don't measure his lifespan by your more than 10,000 years. Gu Yuena spoke up, and Wang Qiu'er immediately let go of her hand and knelt down. The Lord said yes, yes. It's because I was too anxious. At this moment, Huo Yuhao realized that Wang Qiu'er's face was also heating up, indicating that she was not so relaxed either. Alright, you two should cultivate your relationship well. Let's go to Shrek Academy together in August next year. I'll put a seal on both of you to ensure that no one knows that Qiu'er is a soul beast. You two should also know that you will have martial soul fusion skills. Respectfully comply with the Lord's orders. Teacher, have you decided to go to Shrek College? If you really don't want to go, I won't force you. That's Soul Guide. Tomorrow someone will teach you, much better than Shrek, Lin Xiang spoke up. It can be considered that I invited you. He invited someone stronger than Shrek, who is the 9th level soul mentor of the heavenly sky. With this in mind, Gu Yuena and Lin Xiang disappeared, leaving only Huo Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er. Yuhao, I'm sorry, I'm too anxious. Qiu'er, please don't, it's because I have received so many memories in a moment that my mind can't turn around. I really can't blame Huo Yuhao. If any other 11-year-old boy encounters this kind of thing, he won't perform better than Huo Yuhao. Alright, let's not talk anymore, let's practice. Wang Qiu'er said and extended her hand. Yes, practice. Rain Hao let go of his distractions and grabbed Wang Qiu'er's hand. The two of them slowly calmed down and really started practicing. Lin Xiang had already left, and as she watched the two cultivators, Gu Yuena clenched her fists. I have now regained my strength, and I will never let the auspicious beast sacrifice, since Tang Wudong's 9th soul skill can directly summon his father and find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Why can't they have divine protection? The next day Gu Yuena pointed to the portal ahead and said, go in. Huo Yuhao entered it and found a room that he couldn't see at a glance, with several large tables and many tools he didn't know. Walk forward and then sit down. The sound came from afar, and Huo Yuhao followed it as he walked forward and sat down at a table. Then, the figure of a woman appeared. Huo Yuhao looked at her, with a head of silver-gray hair and a shirt that was darker than his hair. He was wearing blue pants and blue shoes on his lower body. Hello teacher, Huo Yuhao stood up and saluted. Sit down, you don't need so much etiquette. Huo Yuhao sat down. The first question is, what do you think is a soul guide? The answer to this question is not in the memory that Gu Yuena-sai gave herself. It seems that she wants to make herself think. Weapons that can be used by soul masters to play a role in soul master battles. Yes, but not entirely. Soul guides may not necessarily be weapons, but storage rings and other civilian soul guides are also soul guides. The second question. What do you think is the key to successfully making a soul guide? The abilities of the soul master and materials. I can't miscalculate. Next, the teacher gradually explained the theoretical knowledge of soul guides to Huo Yuhao. 2 hours later, that's all for today, come back tomorrow. If you keep talking, I'm afraid you should fall asleep. Huo Yuhao awkwardly scratched his head. Chapter 10. Space Kuroshio. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the following period, Huo Yuhao alternated between practicing and learning soul guides. In February of the year 10001 in the Gregorian calendar, Huo Yuhao became a level 3 soul master. Next, it's not that you don't know how to learn, but that I don't know how to teach. In fact, any soul mentor at level 4 or above can turn someone with your talent into a level 3 soul mentor. I can do it next, but I won't teach anymore. Although she said so, Huo Yuhao still bowed in gratitude. Then the two of them walked out of this space together and came to the side of the Lake of Life. Looking at Gu Yuena, the teacher knelt down directly and said, "Master, the task is completed." According to the standards of the Sun and Moon Empire, he is already a level 3 soul mentor. Looking at Huo Yuhao's surprised gaze, Gu Yuena looked at the person kneeling on the ground and said, "You didn't tell him you were a soul beast." He didn't ask, I thought he already knew. What level of soul mentor are you? Me, level 10. So. Why, becoming a soul mentor is not a privilege for humans, and soul beasts cannot become soul mentors anymore. Senior Lin. You will know about our relationship in the future. Master, I'll leave if it's okay. Gu Yuena nodded and then disappeared into place in an instant. Her essence is the 240,000-year-old silver wings of the broken sky, and she is also one of the 4 level 10 soul mentors in the mainland. Is it possible for soul beasts to become level 10 soul mentors, which has refreshed your understanding, teacher? It seems that habitual thinking has harmed me. Not to mention that, in recent years, the spatial black tide is about to begin. Huo Yuhao searched through his memories, and Gu Yuena told him that the spatial Kuroshio means that the entire continent will be connected to a large number of unknown spaces and planes in the coming decades. When he travels in the future, he may inadvertently enter a certain outer space or small plane. Teacher, has there ever been a special space in the starry forest? Yes, it happened a year ago and caused significant losses to the people at Shrek College. Looking at Huo Yuhao's curious gaze, Gu Yuena talked about what happened last year. You already know the composition of Shrek's personnel, so I won't go into further detail. 1 year ago, Shrek had a total of 30 people who came here to obtain soul rings. Among them, 12 were the core disciples of the inner courtyard and all the core disciples at that time. Among those 20 people, there are 12 core disciples, 4 ordinary outer courtyard disciples, and 4 teachers. Among them, 4 disciples from the outer courtyard came to obtain soul rings, while the remaining disciples from the inner courtyard came for practical training classes. Originally, they were 2 teams, but they happened to encounter each other on the periphery, so they came together. With the help of one of the 4 teachers, a 98-level title Dolua, we entered the mixed zone together. Originally, with the strength of the 98-level title Dolua, he was fine in the mixed zone, but unexpectedly, a strange space appeared in the mixed zone and sucked them all in. That space itself is nothing, it just has 1 entrance and 2 exits. When everyone left the space, 4 teachers and 1 core disciple were transported to the periphery, while the remaining 15 people were all transported to the side of a soul beast that had been around for over 100,000 years in the core area. Among the 11 core disciples, there are 2 8 rings, and the remaining 9 soul saints are not weak either. Some of them still have the strength of 8 rings, and I am worried that the soul beast will be lost for 100,000 years. Therefore, I teleported a fierce beast nearby. Then, it was a one-sided massacre, and in the end, only 1 person escaped to the mixed zone and successfully managed to hold on to the teacher's arrival. Is there still someone alive? Huo Yuhao was surprised. This was equivalent to a level 95 title Dolua and a level 91, 92 title Dolua fighting 2 soul Dolua and 9 soul saints in the attribute environment, with the remaining 4 players negligible in the core area. You should know that the title Dolua can defeat the weak soul saint without using a martial soul. I was also surprised, so I specifically investigated and found out that the survivor was a woman named Zhang Lishuan. Last year, she was 23 years old and at level 79, her strength was the strongest in all inner courtyards. Her martial soul was the moon. In the previous Soul Master competition, at level 72, she swept the entire competition as the only soul saint. Huo Yuhao licked his tongue, expressing admiration. Do you know why I have to speak to you slowly? Because that Zhang Lishuan has come again, lying down for a year has elevated her to level 80, and she is now in the edge zone. You probably will encounter others in the future. Release your spiritual power to me, and I will take you to watch. Huo Yuhao released his mental energy, and the next second, a screen appeared in front of him out of thin air, with everyone from Shrek College on it. 1 at level 98, 2 at level 96, and 2 at level 93, the battle is quite impressive. At this moment, on the outskirts of the Starry Forest, the team of Shrek Academy. Xianlao, don't worry, I'll come with Xianliner this time to ensure everything is safe. Xiaozhe, the more foolproof you are, the more I dare not rest assured. Everyone in Shrek knows that last year's incident cannot be entirely blamed on Xuanzi. Who would have thought that a strange space suddenly appeared? But there must always be someone responsible for such a major teaching accident, and Xuanzi decided to take all responsibility and withdraw from the Sea God Pavilion. After repeated persuasion from everyone, he agreed to stay. Report, a human-faced magic spider has been found ahead, other than 1,000 years old. Xianlao, this soul beast is suitable as the third soul ring for Xiaoya. It was Muwen's great-grandson Bebe who spoke up. Okay, it seems that Tanya has the best luck this time. Where is the millennial human-faced magic spider, their opponent? It quickly became Tanya's third soul ring. Great Bebe, I'm also the soul lord. Tanya jumped up happily and hugged Bebe. Bebe stroked her green hair and said, Xiaoya, you can definitely become stronger. Just as everyone was eating dog food, Zhang Lishuan threw a resentful look at them, and Bebe pretended not to see. Everyone advanced all the way and helped Bebe obtain the fourth soul ring in the mixed zone. At this moment, an injured soul beast caught everyone's attention. It has hands and feet like a human, running towards everyone like a ghost. It is a lunar night ghost beast that has been around for 70,000 years. This kind of soul beast usually only comes out to move at night, and now it has been injured again during the day. It is only possible that it has escaped all the way from night until now. The soul beast that can damage it must be even more powerful. Zhang Lishuan and I are preparing to kill it, while others should take precautions. Yes, Xianlao. The Moon Knight Ghost Beast roared and charged towards the two of them. The third soul skill, Moon Misty. Zhang Lishuan's third soul ring lit up. After the release of the third soul skill, the speed of the Moon Knight Ghost Beast suddenly slowed down and began to feel dizzy and disoriented. Is it similar to my group's weakness? Watching the battle, Huo Yuhao couldn't help but make a sound when he saw the effect of Zhang Lishuan's soul skill. It's different, your group's weakness directly reduces the benefits for the opponent, and this is also a spiritual soul skill, but the principle should be to blur the vision of that soul beast. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm made a sharp comment. Huo Yuhao nodded and continued to watch the battle. The Moon Knight Ghost Beast opened its big mouth and emitted a black light with a dark aura. The sixth soul skill, Lunar Eclipse. The moon behind Zhang Lishuan became pitch black, and also a beam of black light rushed out, boom. Two strong lights collided, and Xuanzi immediately activated his soul power to prevent hurting others. The fifth soul skill, Moon Falling. The moon behind Zhang Lishuan turned into a crescent moon, then turned golden and turned into a sharp blade, cutting towards the Moon Knight Ghost Beast. Ah! A foot-long wound appeared on the body of the Moon Knight Ghost Beast, and the already injured Moon Knight Ghost Beast couldn't bear the blow and collapsed straight down. Zhang Lishuan came to its side, ready to give it a final blow. At this moment, the dying Moon Knight Ghost Beast suddenly jumped up, grabbing forward in a frenzy, while releasing several pitch-black air blades. The fourth soul skill, the Reflection of the Moon. Zhang Lishuan immediately used the fourth soul skill, bouncing away most of its attacks. When it was ready to release its second round of attacks, Zhang Lishuan somehow took out a soul guide, and a red beam of light shot out, piercing through the chest of the Moon Knight Ghost Beast and knocking down several large trees. At this moment, a black halo floated out, and the Moon Knight Ghost Beast had completely died. Fortunately, it was not allowed to use the second stage of the frenzy. I didn't expect it to be able to unleash another frenzy after suffering such a serious injury. Find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Huo Yuhao knew that the strength of the Moon Knight Ghost Beast lies in its frenzy. After frenzy, not only does it increase its attack speed, but its attack power also increases significantly. In the second stage, it will launch large-scale attacks with terrifying power. Huo Yuhao only then realized that Zhang Lishuan had planned to kill alone from the beginning, and Xuanzi's role was to avoid hurting others. Although most of the attacks were bounced off, Zhang Lishuan still had 2 wounds on her left arm, with blood continuously flowing out from inside. "Sister Lishuan, you're injured." Seeing Zhang Lishuan bleeding, Beibei was the first to rush forward and took the initiative to bandage her wound. "I can handle this injury myself. Sister Lishuan is still so powerful, but you must be careful. Seeing Sister Lishuan injured will make me feel uncomfortable." "No, he just treats me like a sister. I've always known, why would I?" Zhang Lishuan shook her head, put aside her wild thoughts, and sat down to absorb the soul ring. "Lin Kong, what kind of soul guide is she using now?" "Blood Red Pulse, level 8 soul guide, but this one seems to have been modified, reducing its power but increasing its firing rate." At some point, the teacher who taught Huo Yuhao the soul guide also joined the spiritual link. Originally, the teacher's name was Lin Kong. "I often collaborate with humans, having a human name is convenient." "You just left." "After finishing the task, I'll be back." "The Lord should have told you that I am the space-type soul beast with the silver wing of the splitting sky. Apart from the Lord and the Emperor, I am the strongest in terms of shuttle space among the soul beasts." After Zhang Lishuan absorbed the soul ring, Shrek and the others left. Gu Yuena immediately withdrew her mental detection, and the screen in front of Huo Yuhao disappeared.